We study about Namadhamma, because right from the starting of discussion, from few months, there's a lot of discussion about Chitta, Chetasika, and all these things. But I realized that after coming here, ki understanding Rupa is also important, but we don't discuss much about Rupa. What are the 8 components of Kalapa, or is it important to know go into details of Rupa like we go into details of Chetasikas?
Lesson 10, lesson 11.
Because yesterday, as we discussed, it appears something, but actually it is something else. It appears pleasant or unpleasant, or there is a lot of component of story. But if there is a little more understanding about Rupa, will it help to see the reality? Not just as a lesson, probably.
So it helps to understand that each rupa arises in a group, a kalapa, as you said. So at a moment when sound is heard, there have to be 8, minimum 9 rupas, the 8 indivisible rupas plus sound. If it's the spoken sound like now, another rupa, vachi vinyati, speech intimation. It just helps to understand how each sound is different, conditioned by the 4 Mahabhuta rupas, and how sound can never arise again alone. If it's not conditioned by the Mahabhuta rupas, it cannot arise, but it's still just sound that is heard. When visible object is seen, it has to be conditioned by the primary rupas, the hardness, softness, temperature, motion, cohesion. So that's why each visible object is seen. That's why they can come to be the idea of different shapes, patterns, colors, and so on. If every visible object was the same, there would be no idea of cup or microphone. So it helps to explain the different conditions for each visible object or each sound to arise. So a little more detail, just to understand that it has to be the way just it is, conditioned by those primary rupas. It can't be the same at any 2 moments. Otherwise, people think that every visible object is exactly the same. So how come there is the idea of different colors, table, microphone? Actually, each color, each visible object is different, even though it's only visible object that is seen. So I think slowly, a little more detail helps to understand the nature of rupa, just that dharma which is experienced, but it cannot arise alone.
True. The world is under the power of Chitta.
World is under the power of Chitta.
If there's no Chitta, is there any world?
No. Yeah.
No matter what events, all depends on the greatness or the power of Chitta. Because it experiences the object so clear. It conditions kusala or akusala, depending on conditions, the peace or the war. Without the Chitta, there cannot be anything happen, even right now. But it's ignored. No one thought about it at all. Just thinking all the time about that which is experienced, like now, see? But what about different moments of Chitta?
Yeah.
manindriya, by way of indriya.
Now, Chitta, no Rupa can appear at all. Nothing can be known, nothing can be experienced, even for a moment.
And what Achaan is pointing out is that we are inclined to attend to the rupa rather than the citta that experiences it. So there's a lot of paying attention to the colors and shapes and sounds and so forth. But we're not usually conscious. We're not usually attending to the citta that experiences those realities.
And then it is always told that you differentiate little by little between various realities, like chitta, chetasika, types of chetasika. What is difference between seeing and attachment? So it happens by conditions, right?
Whatever arises is conditioned.
Yeah, one can only listen to Dhamma or consider Dhamma so that there may be little more understanding and differentiation of various realities.
And not I who is differentiating,
Yeah.
understanding, I trying to differentiate or know.
And actually, just the idea of differentiating between different realities is possibly not the best way to consider it, because it's really a case of understanding any single reality at any given time. So if, for example, attachment is the object of awareness and understanding, then it's understood for its own characteristic. And the fact that it's different from citta, for example, is thinking about it rather than the direct understanding of it. But gradually, as different realities become more apparent, then there is a differentiation. It happens, but not because there's any idea of differentiating.
Thank you.
Is panya also important
Yes.
by different ways? And ignorance,
Yeah.
is it important
Yes.
as much as panya?
Yeah.
Ignorance cannot understand panya, but panya can understand ignorance.
Ignorance. Yeah.
Oh, it would be easier for you to use back then.
Ajahn Krab, earlier you said that ignorance is important.
Without ignorance, can there be anything around here?
No, it's the general
It's the
cause. Yeah.
second truth, noble truth.
Yeah. That has to be eradicated.
But it's not indriya.
No.
Because its nature is no understanding of the truth of anything at all. It's there.
It's true. Because now there's no understanding of anything without the discussion, without the truth that is conditioned reality that arises to be the object of understanding. There's nothing, especially without the sheath of the consciousness, the sheath, the citta. Without that, there's no. there's nothing.
What is more dangerous?
What is more dangerous? The wrong view,
The cause,
the ignorance
yeah, and attachment.
and attachment. So it's more dangerous because it's the cause and it's to be eradicated.
Cause of life continuing on. Ignorance with attachment, the cause of dukkha.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the main for Jonathan, the main in daily life when I go back, the main problem is balancing between a conventional reality and ultimate reality. Because in ultimate reality, there is no I, nothing can be done, nothing has to be done, no practice, nothing. But in conventional reality, so many things have to be done. And it is all time bound. If I don't do it, it may have bad impact later, unknowingly, because so many things to be done. And there are people to judge. They say, Advait, you are doing the same mistakes again and again. When will you change? When will you improve? Correct. And in conventional reality, it is very much like a tug of war, because that reminds us of self every moment, every day, that I have to do something. This has to be taken care of, and so many stories. And so, how to balance these two things?
Question of balancing, because life goes on as always, then the understanding that develops of absolute realities doesn't impede one normal daily life, pursuit of one's profession and family life and so forth. The teaching on absolute realities doesn't mean we have to think all the time. There's no I, there's no job, there's no wife, there's no home. This will not be constructive or useful at all. The teaching on absolute reality says that there are realities at the present. There's conditions for some understanding of one of those realities at any time. It doesn't mean that whatever one is doing stops. To in the context of the path of wanting to have more understanding. It doesn't mean that in normal daily life there shouldn't be effort to get up, get going, and strive in one's work for better performance and that sort of thing. Even though it's driven by attachment and perhaps idea of self, but definitely by attachment. That's life. The attachment is there, it's accumulated, it's not going to go away anytime soon. And one has one's responsibility to family to make a living and safeguard what one has earned. I think so. That's it. Any conflict? Any need to?
When there's the idea of balancing, it means not enough understanding of Paramattha Dharma. When the more understanding of Paramattha Dharmas, the less conflict or the less idea of balance, because life goes on as usual. Like you said to me, oh, but do you have a schedule? And I said, yes, we have very busy schedule. We make appointments, we plan trips, we arrange for workmen to come in, we meet friends and so on. Achaan has a busy schedule, no conflict at all. But they're just dhammas. They're all dhammas.
Yeah, like I can understand what you're saying. One example I'll give. There is one staff who went on leave because I am going on leave for 7 days, and then she extended her leave for 4 days without asking me. Now this moment, what Dhamma says, there is no atta, so no need to get angry. No, and, no, matlab, no harsh on her. Basically,
Whether one gets angry or not is by conditions. Whether there is calm and quiet, it's by conditions. Whether one speaks out or keeps quiet, it's by conditions.
yeah,
Understanding works its way. No need to think, how can I balance? And, oh, there shouldn't be anger, because understanding is developing. And if someone says, oh, make more of an effort, no need to say, oh, well, there's no I to make an effort, because they have no understanding. Actually, we understand what is meant. Just moments of kusala, virya, akusala, virya, moments of kusala, moments of akusala. But what about this long story? Because I've heard this story quite a few times about the colleague and not turning up to work. And so what about the chitta now? Dwelling on the story, thinking about the bad colleague and how could they do this and how could they treat me like this? So much mana, so much conceit, so much clinging to I, and, this is not how they should behave. So it's now, it's here and now. Seeing is now, hearing is now, thinking is now, is now. They're just dharmas arising and falling away. In truth, no colleague, no days off. But what about the thinking now? Thinking about the story again and again, not letting go.
And dear Advait, if I may, I think that for myself, there will be anger for quite a while, because at the stages of enlightenment of a sotapanna, of a sakadami, there's still anger. It's only at the stage of anagami that dosa anger is eradicated.
yeah. So there will be anger by conditions.
Relax, there'll be anger by conditions for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
while.
Will be there, and one has to be just natural. The one way is no need to think about any ultimate reality and all that.
No
Right.
need to think. No need to think if the thinking happens. So that's it. But no need to think this should happen. So kusala is always preferable to akusala.
Yeah.
So if one sees the need to and for example, a team member, it can be done with harsh speech or with pleasant speech. The skillful way of doing it is with pleasant speech, but still giving the discipline whatever is called for.
Yeah.
The
So
unskillful way is harsh speech.
yeah. So that moment when there is a conversation, suppose there is always a sense of I, and it will be there.
Yes. And Sarah said, the sense of I in this case is often bound up with conceit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mana.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
I'm so important and I'm in charge, and I said that she needed to work and she hasn't. Mana, lots of mana.
absolutely. There are multiple factors. Patient's care will get affected, and there are a lot of stories.
And we've heard a lot about metta.
Yeah.
So when there's the conceit and the anger, no metta at all,
Yeah.
by conditions, but understand where the problem is.
Yeah.
I think one important point you mentioned in afternoon discussion is rather asking what is to be done. Other way question is how conditions develop. What are the conditions here? Understanding to be developed. I think that is a very important questions to
Yes.
keep remembering again and again,
Yes.
rather doing something
Right.
around that. Yeah. Would you once again say that? I want to hear that again.
Like now, we are helping each other with useful reminders. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Right, Achaan?
Who's the Buddha?
Buddha is the enlightened one.
What did he say? The Buddha, what did he say?
He said, Sabbe Dhamma Anatta.
Again, please.
Sabbe Dhamma Anatta.
What is Sabbe?
All
Dhamma
reality.
and the third one, the third word.
Anatta. No self.
Anatta.
No self.
Sabbe Dhamma.
Anatta.
Anatta.
Yeah.
Is it now?
It is not it.
What is Dhamma now? He didn't say someone or my friend,
Mm.
but Dhamma. So what is Dhamma?
Reality.
Why
Whatever is
is
real.
Dhamma?
It is real.
That's why whatever is real, that's all.
Yes.
So what is real now?
Yeah. Seeing, hearing.
Not anyone.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No one in this room at all.
Oh, there is a lot of ignorance of name, thing,
That's why
person.
the
Yeah.
Buddha's understanding is quite different from the others' understanding.
Yes, again.
That's why each word of his enlightened word is different from anyone else at all. Not anyone can understand as much as him.
Yes.
So when he used the word Dhamma, what does it mean?
Dhamma is a reality.
Okay. Why is a reality?
It is real here and now.
It has its characteristic to be known that it's real.
Yes.
So in truth, what is real now?
In truth, seeing is real.
And what else?
Seeing,
Okay. What is seeing?
sees
You say seeing is real.
yes.
No doubt, everyone knows that seeing is real. But what is the nature, the reality of seeing?
The nature is to see the visible object.
What sees?
It experiences the visible object.
And when there's no seeing, is there that reality?
Yeah, that may be some other reality, thinking, hearing.
So now can it be known?
Yes.
How?
Wise considering.
Always forget
Yeah.
the nature, the reality, which experiences, which sees.
Yes.
No matter how much we talk about it, always forget.
Yes.
It's right
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and it falls away instantly.
Mm. Whether there is a clear understanding or not, it is still or
It's still the
reality,
truth. The
truth and
truth is the
reality.
truth.
Mm.
Yes. What concepts and stories,
Mm.
if one has never heard the Buddha's teaching, it's still the truth.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Does anyone want to practice now?
No, we had enough discussion today on practice.
To be true to the truth, to be truthful.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sally, any interest in Vipassana now? Because we had a little chat about it yesterday.
Thank you, Sarah. No interest in Vipassana now. I think it's we're lucky to hear the real Dharma from Achaan yourself, John, and other wise friends. Otherwise, I think people would clinging to the shortcut. So there is
Can anyone, they or anyone, do Vipassana?
no. It is understand no one.
Only.
Yes.
Vipassana is just a degree of understanding,
Yes.
clear understanding, not something that is done or followed or practiced. That's the point.
Yes, very firm. Thank you.
Even though we have been studying and understood that it is not the right way to try to do something in order to there is no method to understand vipassana or get through and have a higher understanding in those kind of things. But in our daily life, everyone still become the manager of everything because we believe that we have to do this, and we are quite understand clearly that no one do it, and we cannot do anything in order to go up and develop our understanding in Dhamma. But after Dhamma discussion section, we come back to do whatever we think we can do again and again and again. Even though the development of understanding start a bit, but still be like that.
Can we say that's an illusion? The idea that we come back to do again and again and to be the manager and to direct. It seems like after the discussion, we come back and we do these things. But in truth, even with ignorance, no one can do anything. No one can manage. No one can direct. No one can organize. There are just dharmas, as I mentioned to Prakash. Even if there's no understanding, complete forgetfulness, still no one can do. It's just an illusion that I do, someone does.
And even though when we heard somebody say that, oh, we are going to do some practice, they are going to do some routine practice, everyone have the right opinion that they can't do it. But in real life, everyone do it.
Everyone imagines they do it.
Imagine
Actually, no one
one
to do it.
to do it.
So it's just the imagination, the fantasy that I do it, that I do anything. I cook, I clean, I go to work, I organize my staff. Actually, no one who does anything.
No, that is true.
Wrong practice that you talked about,
Yeah.
having the idea, is motivated by wrong view and leads one away from the path, from the goal. Thinking that one can manage other people in conventional life, is that taking one away from is that walking the wrong path?
Yes.
I don't think so. Not necessarily.
It's not true because it not be
It's
like that.
just ordinary akusala.
All akusala, no one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
akusala, but not
Akusala.
necessarily taking one away from the goal. because not like having the idea of practice, or having the wrong idea of what is the development of understanding. That will take one away from the goal. But thinking that one can manage the world as a manner of speaking is not of the same quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we don't talk about now, how can there be a little more understanding of what are there?
No way.
So many realities unknown yet. That's why in life, the moment of working, what is there? See, no one, just the word no one, but what is it? Not just citta and some cetasikas, but in life, so many cetasikas. That's why if we don't have more understanding of what is there, there is no way to letting go the idea of self at all. That's why just learn about citta is not enough, or some cetasikas are not enough. But we have heard many words about cetasika, but no understanding it. It is cetasika. It's me or mine all the time. That's why today, what happened from moment of waking up to now? How many different realities taken for you? I'm trying. I'm intended to do something. See, what are they? Dhamma is not enough. That's why learn a little more of what is there in order to understand the moment when it's there. For example, we talk about sati, we talk about indriya, we talk about feeling and memory. A little more understanding. Can they be wrong or right?
Right.
When there's no understanding. Wrong sanya.
Wrong sanya.
See, for how long?
Yes. Actually, just having a chance to listening to the real Dhamma talk, it become condition to to
No wishes, no hopes.
no hope. Yes, when I say it become condition to get the sati faster, it hope.
No expectation.
Yes, that's right.
Another fantasy,
Yeah.
clinging.
When he said about doing balance, it again, I try to balance something.
That's why it should be known what reality is there, performing such moment.
If one comes here with the idea that understanding and sati will arise quicker, it's not the understanding of Dharma,
It's hope. Yeah.
expectation,
And it method
clinging.
to get it, the way to get it. Yeah. Thank you.
So it doesn't mean life doesn't continue as usual, like in the work, giving instructions to the staff and making schedules and plans and organizing. Life goes on as usual, but with more understanding of what is real, what is true. It doesn't mean any slowing down or stopping or trying to observe. That's not the right way.
So what are there at that moment or those moments?
Are there? There are different chittas and chetasikas.
Not known.
Not known, yeah.
Which is which and what is what.
Yeah.
So it's still I.
Yeah. And even seeing is not known. Na? We say seeing, but I don't know what is seeing. I can see that, but I don't know what is
And
seeing.
what about the Buddha?
Yeah.
Did he realize the nature of seeing?
Yes.
That's why he thought about the understanding of seeing right now, begins to understand it's real. It's a reality.
Yeah.
It experiences the object. That's why in a day, no understanding of the reality which arises to experience the object. All of them are I instantly, and ignorance is there.
Yeah.
It's time not to underestimate ignorance, the second noble truth. Can it be eradicated?
Yes.
If there's no understanding of it,
When we-
impossible. Is there any wish to experience it? Who knows? Right understanding knows.
ใช่อาจารย์ครับ but during daily life seeing doesn't appear it's only
Not to ignorance
mm,
at all. It will appear to right understanding,
all right
different degrees.
right
We have heard about Dhamma, Nama Dhamma, Rupa Dhamma, at
Yeah.
moment of touching.
Yeah.
Is there even a moment of thinking about touching? It's not hardness at all.
Mhm.
And we talk about Dhamma all day.
they're there but
A little more understanding of each moment, each different level of realities. At moment of when it's so slight,
Yeah.
unknown, and moment when it's strong.
yeah when it's very apparent it can be
Known
studied known.
as something not I, something not reality. It's I or someone or something,
yeah
not
but
a reality at all.
deep down still I feel the hardness
Is
The
there viriya today?
oh it's so difficult yes there must be but
It's not the word.
yes,
Yeah.
there must be because before I came here, I just do the ironing. There
But-
must be virya, but it's virya with
Yeah.
the akusala, and it's I. It's not virya as dhamma. It's I who doing the ironing.
That's why if there is the understanding what moment that is viriya, what moment there's no viriya arising, it can develop little by little.
Yeah,
Because we say there's virya when doing the ironing, conventionally speaking,
Yeah.
but actually virya at almost every moment now, every kusala moment, every akusala moment,
Yeah.
virya is
Sitting
there
here.
performing its task, kusala, akusala all the time.
When we're too lazy to do the ironing, that's still very
yes, of course.
This is to Dr. Avi. Is there virya to be agitated? I pick up this discussion about your, agitation when you discussed with Tanajan one of the YouTube sessions, and she mentioned something about agitations that doesn't arise together with unpleasant feeling. So I would like Tanajan to teach us more about this, please.
Is there viriya now?
Yes, but I don't know.
That's right. Just talk about the word viriya.
Uh-huh.
But when there will be moment of just thinking about viriya,
Yeah.
that's why Buddha taught about the citta arises with hetu or without hetu, and which one arises with viriya, and which one viriya does not arise with that citta at all. It's not by doing something or order any moment to be such and such, but it's the way it is. Anatta. Learn to understand even whatever is viriya or other reality, all dhammas are anatta. But if there's no understanding about any dhamma at all, it's just all dhamma, all dhamma. But when dhamma is there, no understanding to understand a little more, that is also anatta. So is there viriya in a day?
Yes.
When
When
this is learning about
yeah.
dhamma, not
When I'm trying to
Atta.
understand what you're asking.
I think Ajahn is asking which citas does virya arise with. So it doesn't arise with seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. What else does it not arise with?
I only remember that it's ahetuka.
Yes,
Some of there's only two that
only
no
two
virya.
ahetuka
Yeah,
chittas that
yeah,
arise
yeah.
with virya. One is the manodwara vajana chitta, the first chitta in the mind or process.
Yeah.
So apart from those two, with every moment of kusala and akusala, virya is there. So as
Yeah.
Jonathan said, whether earning or not earning,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
it's there. Yes. And if one's friend or family member says, oh, make an effort not angry, of course, this is just conventional way of thinking, but actually virya is there at each moment, whether angry or not angry, for sure. But for those who haven't understood or heard anything about the Dhamma, they just speak according to their understanding. So there can be metta instead of getting angry that they say something that is not according with the Dhamma. With the agitation, there is unpleasant feeling with all kinds of dosa and
Yeah.
kukucha. It's unpleasant feeling at those moments.
Yeah. So, but it's different between unpleasant and angry.
Unpleasant
Yeah.
feeling is a feeling, and
Feeling,
anger is
Anger
dosa.
is dosa.
Yes, but they arise together.
Yeah.
And virya is there at each of those
Less than
moments.
10 or 11. Study Dhamma is not just remember that it arises with ahetuka citta or no, not ahetuka citta. That's not study Dhamma. It is remembering the word. But understanding Dhamma is that it's real and it appears by conditions. Without condition, nothing can arise. That's why when we talk about seeing with 7 Jatasikas, just to understand that no one can make it arise, and how many jittas are there, by what condition, and so on. Just to let go gradually, they cling to the idea of self. So it's not just, it does not arise with ahetuka citta. How many of them?
Yes.
How many ahetuka citta are there? See, just remember how many ahetuka are there.
Oh,
And which one doesn't have
Achaan, how
virya
can
to
we
rise?
study virya now at this time?
How can we? That's the question. What is the right
In the
virya?
beginning, is it real?
It's real.
Yeah.
Is it there?
Can you explain the definition of virya? Is it a effort?
The
Is the
question.
meaning?
The question. What is the question? Listen carefully, Buddha always said
Yeah, yeah.
before you say anything.
Mm.
So, would you like to understand virya?
Yes.
Is there any moment you do something,
Yeah. Right
wearing
now.
the shoe?
Yeah. Right now, holding this
Is
microphone.
there virya?
Yes. Without virya, I would not have holded this
A
microphone.
little more understanding.
Yeah.
So, is that moment ahetuka citta or what? No.
Achaan, now, what is the difference between the intention of holding this and holding it? That is a virya. What is the difference of these both?
That's why we have to understand what virya is.
Mm.
It's not feeling.
Yes.
It's not memory.
Yeah.
And even it's there, it's not known because it's so not strong enough. But at any moment we try so hard or more than usual, virya is there. But it's known as I am trying.
Yeah.
But in truth, not anyone. And it's not vitaka, it's not vichara, it's not chanda or other cetasika. But the nature of it is there, effort.
Like
reality.
even now, effort to understand,
Mm. Yes, sir.
effort to consider the meaning, effort to answer.
But the fact that you're not scolding your staff, meaning was it the right virya to not to say bad things to her? What do you think?
That is
Ben?
a skillful way of handling the people.
Skillful.
That is how still understanding Dhamma in that process.
And we cannot say that just kusala kiri at those moments. Maybe one knows that if one scolds, there will be trouble. So it may be abstaining from scolding with attachment. Who knows? Different moments.
Yeah.
But still, it is more skillful.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah, irrespective of whether we understand Dhamma, we know Dhamma, don't Dhamma, I think skillful way of handling is.
That she said it is story and it went away. But what happens is in real life, suppose I scold them, or I don't scold them, anything, but I forget it's anicca, leave them, forgive them, chhod do. Then they will do same thing. You got it, na? Then it's a big problem. They will do the same. Then another staff will do the same thing. No. I know it is not there, but we are discussing, right? She brought up that. I'm not worrying. I am just telling. Because she has raised that topic. I am not saying any story. Now she asked, so I'm just answering that, how it impacts daily life. Because in conventional reality, these things happen. Although these are stories, right? Some stories we are also discussing here, right? Yeah.
So as the team leader, you have a responsibility to discipline team members who step out of line. Yeah, but it can be done with skillfully or unskillfully.
Yeah, and there can
Yes.
forgetful.
Yeah, but with a point of Dhamma, it's not a question of apply Dhamma or don't apply Dhamma. That's
true,
the thing to remember.
Yeah.
That
We're just talking about conditioned dharmas.
Yeah.
So whatever the circumstances, Ajahn has to sometimes reprimand those who do something wrong at the foundation. But what about with metta or kindness?
Yeah.
Anytime. It's just daily life, different dharmas, kusala, vipaka, kiriya.
Yeah.
but we can't abrogate our responsibility by saying, oh, it's anatta and everything passes and so forth. That's a cop out.
Yeah.
That's a cop out.
Sometimes there is, okay, just leave it. Then it will have its impact.
To leave it. And other times the skillful thing is not to leave it.
Yeah.
There's no rule.
Yeah.
Okay, question from Meta. Question from Owen. You can ask.
okay. Because Sarah, you mentioned about at that moment, if metta arise and, condition the reaction, not scold or whatever. I mean, if metta, meaning you're not scolding to her, but was it like, it must be viriya there during metta arise. So if your right understand about the metta that caused you to not to scold her, is that right? Is that something you're talking about?
Virya is there with each moment of kusala, each moment of akusala. And when one scolds when they touch the stove, it doesn't mean don't. It can be with kusala chitas, all depending on conditions.
And also, from this perspective, is that by conditions, events or situations, if you will, are there to develop kanti and virya. So if those conditions and situations didn't arise, then how to develop the kanti and the virya, if you understand my gist about that.
Another thing, to discipline someone is not the same as scolding. But if we always think of it in terms of scolding rather than applying discipline, then of course there is the temptation for it to be more unskillful. The likelihood,
It's all not me. So you go back to India tomorrow, and if there's scolding or anger or whatever, it's Dhamma. It's Dhamma and it's conditioned.
Yeah, I think I was
That's
not
it.
able to tell my question clearly. It was, suppose such condition arises, and the problem with me is I tend to forget and forgive. Then it has its own impacts in the conventional reality. So in conventional reality, as Jonathan said, we have to take some steps, maybe some SOP or some protocol, how to deal with this situation, probably. So that, and Dhamma is there, all those things are there, stories and anatta, all those things are there. But in conventional truth, these things need to be done, as you said, and those to be reminded. Otherwise, there is forgetfulness.
About all Dhammas.
Anatta.
You forget all Dhammas.
Yeah.
But
It's taking the situation for being real, but it's not the understanding of dhammas.
That is true. That is always there. That is the papancha.
Not enough understanding. So
Yes,
taking the papancha for being the
Yeah,
dhammas, the
very
story.
real. Real, very personal.
I think this is what Ot was talking about earlier. Yeah, taking in life, we take the situation to be real.
Yeah, I just want to discuss with you. I also have problem. Every day, every day. But if you believe it happened because of condition. You have problem with your stuff. I have problem with my knee. Kun Tu have problem with the air condition. Okay, and if you believe that everything happened because of the condition, okay, you will feel comfortable a little bit. And you say that, should I angry with him, or should I forgive him, or you can do nothing. But if you learn about Dhamma and you understand it, you can do nothing. The way you action with your staff will be changed better and better. Maybe first time you angry them, or second time you angry is not good. You stop, pause a little bit. Okay, not angry, and then but you cannot do we cannot do nothing. It's
Each moment of thinking, each moment of intention, each moment of speech, it's conditioned already.
Yes. Thank you.
And when we think of the problem with the knee, the air conditioning, the stuff, it's not understanding Dhamma.
Because understanding work its way, Advait, in silence. Now you may think that, I would be nasty if I reprimand my staff, blah, blah, blah. But understanding Dhamma will shape your behavior, your speech, your deed by condition, not by I want to be better, I want to be a good boss, or I want to do things, or I can do things, because that is not Dhamma.
Not by expectations.
Yeah.
Not by expectations that now there will be no anger and now there will be more understanding.
Thank you. I think what you said is very true. There is a tendency to control everything. There is no acceptance that things happen by conditions. There is a very strong tendency, I can control this, I can control the situation or whatever is happening. But that is impossible.
And if everyone can control, I think everyone don't want to have the problem with air condition, and you don't want to have the problem with your staff. And also, I don't want to have problem with my knee. But because we cannot control.
Wanting to be the world manager, but not understanding what the world is. The world is what is seen now, what is heard now, kindness now, annoyance now. This is the world, one moment at a time. No one can control it, even for a moment.
You know, my landlord has the same problem. I tell him when the cat's away, the mice will play. And everybody's got problems and stories and the worldly conditions. And, you know, they all start sounding the same. And I'm bored with my problems. It's better to listen to someone else's. But, yeah, Dharma, back down to, you know, the reality. And out of the story, just pop out of the story. So much better than being lost in a story, you know?
So just to put a bit of balance to this, there still has to be an order to one's life. You still have to get up in time to get to work on time, to this sort of thing. So, but these efforts are not wrong path, these kind of efforts. So it's just normal daily life, normal ups and downs of life. Things work. Some days are good days, some days are bad. Yes. So there has to be a certain effort to bring order to one's life. Otherwise it'll be chaos. Not the wrong path.
Can you further explain? Yes.
Yeah, so wrong view.
If there is the idea that no need to rush to get to work on time because each Dhamma is conditioned in anatta, that would be wrong view. Or no need to help the patient or see the patient today, conditioned by condition. That is definitely wrong view. Yeah.
But on the other side, trying to be, etc., can be wrong view too, right? It really depends on the
develop understanding. Yeah, is the wrong view. But trying in the conventional sense to get to work on time doesn't have to involve any wrong view.
But if it depends on whether at that time there is DT or not.
It does.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Can be kusala and
We
kusala with ditthi or
We're
without.
not making any rule about it.
Yeah.
We're just saying that the conventional trying does not have to involve wrong view, but trying to have understanding must necessarily involve wrong view.
I just would like to add a comment with you that I have also a problem with coughing. I want to stop it, but it happens. No way. Dear teacher and friends, I have a question about metta again. That we learned that the metta is only for living beings, and that's automatically like sometimes I have the thinking about Hằng, and I would like to share merits to her. And is there any like kindness and friendly feelings at that moment? Like, I mean, is there any metta at the moment which share merits to Hằng? Is that
So
already?
metta, friendliness, is to those who are living. Like now, very glad to see Metta's brother and your wife. And I mentioned Hang's brother and wife. And I mentioned the other day when we came this time, I thought of Hang a lot because she's always the one who welcomed us and helped us so much on every visit to Hanoi and every visit to Vietnam. So we miss her very, very much. And we always appreciated her interest in these discussions. And we can rejoice in all her good deeds and kindness and care for everyone. So when there's missing, it's sadness and akusala, but at moments of appreciating the kusala and all the goodness and kindness, it can be with joy. No need to feel sad at all.
Yeah, thank you
So,
very much.
yes.
This is the first time I've been here, and I'm happy that you are discussing a lot about life and realities, and I hope that I could understand a little bit, just a little bit, but in the future, I think I will study more.
And if Hung could know, she would be so very happy to know that you and your wife are here today listening to Dhamma, because definitely she appreciated that understanding Dharma is what is most precious in life, and she really dedicated her time to developing understanding. So she'd be very glad to know you have come.
Yeah, this is, I think that's a big loss for my family, but I think she will be happy. I think so.
And we feel so sad when there's the loss of a family member or good friend. But actually, as we know, for the one who has passed away, new life, maybe happy realm, new family, new interest, continuing to study the Dharma. The sadness, the grief is for ourselves, for our loss of pleasant feeling again and again. So understanding a little more about Dharma, and that means there can be joy in considering the good deeds of others and all her kind sharing with us. We appreciated her interest and understanding so much. Is there any question or anything you would like to ask about?
Achaan biết vì Achaan cũng hỏi thăm, Achaan cũng hỏi thăm nên là vào đây một chút trong gần một vài thì đã hỏi. Achaan có hỏi thăm mà Achaan không nhìn được.
So Ajahn, this is Hung's sister-in-law and Hung's brother. I think actually you came to one discussion before in Hanoi a long time ago, because I remember meeting you before. Yes. We had a chat before. Yeah.
Yes.
I think there was a question about metta towards a deceased being. Is that right, Ganga?
Yes, my question is about metta for Hung is possible. I know that in theory it's not possible. So is there anything like
In theory, it's
kusala?
not possible because
Because I learned that metta is only for living beings.
the person we know as Hung is no longer living, but life goes on. Another being. So
yes.
no one's dead forever. Only
So
the Arahant.
they could be well wishing for the continued stream of consciousness, the cheetahs and cheta seekers.
Okay.
Ajahn, any comments?
Who knows where she now? See, but they must be seeing, hearing again and again by conditions, just like now, but different place. Is it true? Endless from life to life. as soon as the death consciousness is gone, the new life begins. It conditioned the birth moment, birth consciousness instantly by karma. And who knows? But the kusala karma conditioned the good or the wholesome birth. It's the result of wholesome karma. But what will be there? Who knows? Like us, just born with wholesome vipaka, the result of wholesome deeds. But in life, many, many things is conditioned to arise and explain or by conditions.
And in the deepest sense, we think about the death at the end of this life. But as the Buddha taught, actually there is temporary death at the moment now. Whatever arises now, the seeing now, the hearing now, the thinking now, it falls away instantly. So actually there's death at each moment. And the last moment of life is just like now, just another moment of experiencing that falls away to be followed by the next one endlessly until all defilements of being completely eradicated and then no continuation.
So can I continue to raise the question? Yeah. Like I know in theory that okay, sadness is also a kind of dosa. When we remember how this come also naturally the sadness. So like how can be like we have the metta and also dosa. It's not the same moment. It's different moment, but it's all mixing, right? I mean, it seems for me it's all missing. Can you have any comment about this?
Can anyone know whether this moment is metta or attachment?
We cannot.
But it's a reality, that's all. It's the beginning of understanding the truth. In truth, there cannot be anyone, because this moment is seeing conditioned just to see and God. No one, each moment. So learn to understand what is Dhamma, what is real is Dhamma. And the one which experiences the object now arises to see, to hear, to think. Hardness cannot think, cannot lack anything. So when we talk about all Dhammas, it includes everything which is real. But not anyone at all. Seeing dog and cat, everyone sees. So seeing is not a cat or a dog, but seeing is seeing, thinking is thinking. Do you remember last life? Can Han remember?
Unlikely, all forgotten. We're all forgotten. Yeah. And I remember when our friend Nina was so upset after her husband died, and she kept thinking about him, and you said to her, actually, even when living, there was no husband, no Ludovic. So we grieve so much for the one that's passed away, not realizing, like you were saying this afternoon in the discussion, in truth, no Sujin, no Jonathan, no Tam, just different dharmas arising and falling away. It's a very deep truth, but good to understand little by little.
Is unpleasant feeling real? No one likes it, but it's there by conditions and gone. Never lasted. Not all day. At moment of seeing, it's not unpleasant or pleasant by conditions. Just be this person as long as death hasn't come yet for everyone.
At moments of kindness or caring, like in the hospital with your patients, at those moments, no unhappy feeling, no sadness, at moments of kindness and caring. But when it's thinking about oneself and one's loss of pleasant feeling, then the unpleasant feeling arises. But it's always just for a moment. It seems to last, but it's just a moment.
Questions? Yes. Like I remember on the theory that crying is also kind of dosa, but I still wonder because it's the moment when I feel emotional to think about Hằng. I don't feel any dosa at all, and
Not enough understanding. That's why learn more. Yeah. Whatever is there is a reality, but it's not known as a reality at all.
yes, that's one changing this. Like I don't cry because of Hằng death. Like I think that's 10 years ago, maybe I cry a lot, and now I just feel emotional, but not crying is also the side of like understanding growth.
Still dosa.
Is there virya also there?
Yeah. Okay, yes.
In order to let go the idea of self, there's a little more understanding of the reality as it is, just being conditioned to arise and then gone instantly. Never arise again.
Yes,
She's asking that she's getting less emotional than she used to be. Does that mean it's a sign of more understanding?
Wishful thinking.
Son cries a lot. Younger one cries a lot. The elder one doesn't cry much because as he grown up, he controls emotion. But I don't think there is an understanding now for elder one compared to the younger one.
I think it's the same for people who haven't heard the Dhamma. They go through life and their emotions change. And at some stage they can be very easily tearful and other times not. It's just a conventional change in life. Yeah. Nothing special. I need to try and...
When a dear one passes away in the beginning, of course, more tears, more emotion, and then gradually some days not thinking about it, the loss. So it's just normal, natural.
Just a small disagreement that I have with Prakash in terms of thinking that your child, when he was small, he cried a lot, and when he grow up, he's less crying, and you think that it's not understanding, but he can control himself. I tend to think that when he grow up, because of the understanding, he's less crying because he can't control anything actually.
Can anyone ever control anything? It's just a way of speaking, but in truth, no one can
No
control.
one can control.
Just less condition.
But when you understanding, you accept it. Yes.
Whether they listen to the Dharma or not, nobody can listen. Whether they listen to the Dharma or not, there's no one to control anything. Everything is all by conditions. But this is a very good thing to know that we are here now in Dharma. And I wanted to thank Kun Heng's brother, her deceased Kun Heng's brother, for coming today and convey my deepest condolences. The last time I was here, she was my roommate, and time is sort of winding down, and I wanted to ask you if there's anything you would like to say, please.
Keep practicing, discussing. I just came here for listening and learning.
Is there anything you can do for her?
Actually, I cannot do anything for her.
She would be so happy if you study Dhamma and understand Dhamma.
Thank you.
And
I
be
try.
good.
Would be the greatest merit in her memory. Yes.
Yeah, I try. Thank you.
By conditions.
At least anytime you think of her, do good.
Thank you.
It's one condition to be good.
So I want to continue with Ganga when she say somehow her emotional is less. On the other hand, is that subtle loba is better than gross loba? Somehow it's similar, right? No, I just asked for comment in general, not one just because actually it's really different between different loba. So somehow subtle loba show I mean your mind is different. Like for example, those people who like normal, like singing, dancing, and for some people who likes to have others. We cannot tell that is kusala or akusala, but seems that is already better than you like dancing, etc.
Better in what way?
It means somehow it's not gross and not easy to see.
More kusala?
Like better in terms of the degree of the loba.
Not necessarily. One can help other people with a lot of loba and mana. Conceit.
One may give up singing and sit around being miserable because one misses so much. Or if one thinks of situations, I think it's cannot understand what is kusala, what is akusala.
But why there is different levels of understanding?
Because it has to grow in the beginning. How can it be strong or very clear understanding unless one is Sariputta or for someone who have enough accumulations from past lives to immediately understand directly and become enlightened. But usually it's long, slow path. Understanding has to develop on and on. Does it matter?
I think what you mean is because a higher degree of understanding is better than a lower degree of understanding. Therefore, a higher degree of loba is not as good as a more like lesser degree of loba, right?
And that is definitely true, because if the loba is strong enough that it leads to unwholesome deeds and actions that harm the other, then it's more serious. Sama and visama loba, ordinary loba, and out of the ordinary loba, when stealing or killing or sexual misconduct and so on, telling lies, more serious, more dangerous than just liking the taste or the sound or having fun with one's friends.
But one cannot really say that if one like dancing, the degree is stronger than if one likes sweets, for example, right?
Or likes
Cannot say.
particular tastes at lunch or.
Yeah.
No.
Can I continue with the topic about metta? Yes. Like yesterday visiting Hang's mother, we say that we would like to come and say greetings to Achaan, your own, but she's afraid that many people will giving her care and pay attention to her, so it's not comfortable. And at that moment, I wonder, yes, I will be one of the people who come to Hang's mother and say something nice. I think this it could be metta, but there is a consequence as to make her feel uncomfortable. So it's out of our control, but so the metta can be annoying. It is.
So metta is metta, it's kindness, it's friendliness, it's goodwill. One doesn't know whether it will be appreciated or accepted, or as you say, maybe one will leave the room or not appreciate it. But still, metta is metta. But sometimes one knows that it's not appropriate to go too close or to ask the person to speak, even if it's with metta. But still, metta is metta.
And I think it's not really the metta that causes the uncomfortable feeling. It is the thinking that happens because of that situation. Like yesterday, when you were leaving, Hang's mother became very emotional because seeing us reminded her of Hang. And that is totally normal, understandable, but not because of the metta, but because of her own accumulations.
So different cheetahs, glad to see you and happy, but also moments of thinking with sadness and so on, all by habits and accumulations.
I have I want to tell that story after I heard that Hang is very good friend, and when I heard that the news that Hang is dead, I dream of Hang. I dream of Hang, and I dream in my dream I sawท่านอาจารย์ crying, and and on the next day I met ท่านอาจารย์ and I told about my dream with ท่านอาจารย์ and ท่านอาจารย์ teach me taught me Dhamma like she taught everyone today, and I think it's the Dhamma discussion is the kusala. I think it's very good chance to extend the kusala to Kun Hang. I don't know in English how to say, but
It's possible. I'm sure she will be appreciating the kusala. Yes.
Chitta and Chitasik from moment to moment. But today we have the understanding of Viriya. The Chitta without Viriya doesn't appear. Seeing, no Viriya. The 10 Chittas which sees, hear, and so on. But the other moment, even talking now, there must be Viriya, unknown. That's why learn to understand. Viriya is a moment of having effort to do something. But when it's so very weak, it's not known. That's why learn to understand that how many Chittas arise without Viriya, and the other Chitta, even talking right now, it has to arise with Viriya.
Before you go on, understand what virya is, what we're talking about?
Just a little bit.
So this is the mental factor Chaitasika of effort, which arises at almost every moment except at moments of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. So moments of kindness, there's virya. Moments of anger, there's virya. We think I make an effort, but we learn that actually virya, the Chaitasika, arises with those moments. That's what we're talking about. Sorry.
Thank you. อาจารย์ครับ even the weak virya can be known by right understanding and strong understanding.
If there's no understanding of it at all, it cannot be known. Just right now, virya. See?
Yeah.
Thinking about anything, virya is there.
Yeah.
One factor of each moment, except moment of ahetuka citta, how many of them arise out virya?
And by way of
Is there virya to think?
Of course.
See, beginning to understand. Little by little,
Yeah.
it's so very, very useful. Otherwise, no understanding life. Even the word effort, it's there unknown. But learn to understand that no matter just stretch one's hand or whatever is done, there must be virya.
Yeah, but during the translation, there must be virya, but not think about it at all because concentrating on something else, the different objects.
That's why we learn to understand the difference between citta with hetu and citta without hetu in order to understand what moment there's no virya.
Yeah.
But when it attachment or anything, it's virya, with virya.
Yes, thank you.
I think it's time.
I just wanted to say that, but Panya is faster than translation, so it might arise during the translation too.
Without understanding about it, how can it be object of panya? That's why we have to, from the very beginning, what moment there's virya.